Alright, so a little false start earlier. Let me check, make sure this is all good levels and stuff. Yeah, lower that a lot. Why not? Whatever. You should be able to hear me, theoretically. So, Control-Shift-Tab should theoretically bring you over here. And I'm just going to keep watching the stream to make sure it went. And keep this nice and close. So we got ourselves here some nice lighting, right? Okay, I got some static meshes. Sorry, I got me some emission light there, emissive. Just make sure that, yeah, that obnoxious sound is real low so you can hear me. Okay, well, that's my music. I'm sticking to it. And let's see, so that's a shadow cast by an invisible or a translucent skeletal mesh here, which is actually animated. Let me just play this. Oh, I actually am playing it. Let me play it for real. Alright, there we go. Full screen. You know what? I'll do it the genuine experience. A new character. I can't type. Okay. New character. Oh, ignore the shrubberies and the swords. I meant to delete them, but you know how it is. The daytime is set to travel real fast. I should illuminate that too. That would be a smart idea. Alright, so I'm a poof of smoke right now. I'm gonna go this way. And look at all that beautiful light through my poof of smoke. I'll show you how this works in a minute. I'll go through all the details. How I got dynamic lighting with shadows in a movable object projecting and all that good stuff. And also the fact that that's a directional light and that outside... Oh, I can't do that because I don't have a body. Let me go here. Get a body. Alright. There you go. And keep scrolling and eventually goes here. Hear the wind. It's still there, kind of. Louder because it's blocked by visibility. Now here's you got your invisible or translucent skeletal mesh casting a shadow. I know I had soft shadows on everything. Check out the shadow from the torch too. Myself. I'm not moving. I'm stationary right now. I'll just move out of it. So I made a flicker with some crazy random, not crazy random. It's actually pretty well controlled. I'll show you that as well. But you know, some of that epicness. Okay, sorry. And that's a flat plane. That's a standard sun. It's your standard sun. Here's some world machine that I've been tweaking, getting some nice levels. Oh, that's a little awkward here. Jag. Oh yeah, you can see my foot thing. Foot thing. There you go. Not the most accurate. But my foot thing is better than no foot thing. Doop, 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 doop. I know I got one person watching, so say hello to my little friend here. Alright, so some of the stuff, let's see. The fire here. Let's do that. Blueprints. No, it's in the maps. Blueprints. Firelight is light. I turned off soft shadows because movable lights don't work with skeletal meshes on soft shadows, so that option just isn't in there yet, so you just can't do it. So I had to disable it, but it would have been soft shadows and looked real lovely, but it wouldn't move. So I prefer this movement that I made here. I just used the Unreal guidelines to get an idea of what to do, and then just started messing with math. So let's see. Timeline. Begin play. Start the timeline. Update. Branch. If random float in range is above 0.75, so there's a 1/4 chance that this will happen. If not, reverse. So there's 3/4 possibility. Yeah, sorry, I just got a comment on another random video. That's funny. So 3/4 chance it'll reverse. So it's constantly going back and forth. That's a little bit of a flicker. A 1/4 chance it'll reverse. That's blah 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 blah. 3/4 chance it'll move forward, and set intensity to interpretation of brightness and movement times each other. So in this you have two things that I just kind of sculpted, just like kind of haphazardly, randomly, and I multiply them by each other, and then multiply that by a random range between 0.75 and 1.25. So this gives it a constant frame-by-frame flicker. It's like a constantly flickering. Then you can add, and I add 1 because this is just wasn't bright enough to start with, I think. Multiply it by an intensity value. Yeah, because I wanted to multiply it by 2. It's math. Plus or times, it's all the same shit. Divide by 2. Like, I don't even... Yeah, I did that. Okay, so then in an F interpret, flicker value, set the new flicker value from the old value. Then a branch, if it's 1/4 of a chance of doing... so if that happens, there's also 1/4 chance of... moving. That's what this shit is. So this is intensity. It's just constantly flickering and either going backwards on the timeline or going forwards on the timeline with a random adjustment. So then basically what we have here is our movement transforms. So I've got the blue line here, point light, that's the thing. So blue light, relative transform. Relative transform means it's attached to the root, the relative, so it moves it within this scene space. You break the transform, blah blah blah. What's this? Okay. Add 3 or subtract 9. That's what happens in each of these. And I found that was a nice ratio for randomness. If you've got a 1/4 chance of it happening, there's a 1/4 chance it'll move 3 in any direction. So these are all just changing the X, Y, and Z the same way. So you could look at this, and that's the same thing as this. Same thing as this. All of these are their own random float range chance of float being selected. So it'll either select 3 or 9 based on 1/4 chance. So get it? Okay. Then from there you get all those and plug them into a new vector, which you plug into the transform. So we're getting the other values from here. So we're just changing the transform location. Sorry, the location of that transform. So we're plugging into a transform interpret to the value, set the value, shabam. And can I simulate here? Yeah, simulate. There you go. Boom, 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 boom. And I clamped it somewhere, I believe. There's a clamp. Random clamp too. Yeah, clamp float on there too. -20 and 20. So that it's stays within zoom here. Stays within this area. Looks like it's going over here a lot. Oh, what? That's over there. I'll just watch it for a moment, see where it goes. And goes, oh, see, now it's going over there. And you know, it's just kind of, it's all within this area, no matter what. I'm just gonna go, you know, all over here. They can see it in the game. I'm gonna stop that. Okay. Okay, so that's that light settings though. Intensity, that's the orange color too. Attenuation radius. All right, now source radius would be important if I was doing the soft shadows, but I'm not, so that's off. Cast translucent shadows is on. Dynamic indirect lighting and lighting channel 0. Oh, I should just change this by default, because I went into the map and changed all of them individually. So this is what I'm supposed to be set to for these. All these are... Channel 0 is your standard. This is daylight, this is sunlight, this is all objects that are put in the game by default. So that's just normal. 1 is my stained glass channel. It's also a directional light. It affects everything in the entire map from one... Well, actually from 3 directional lights. I'll show you that later. But they're all in one actor. So that one actor is actually lighting the entire world with stained glass, and anything that's selected on lighting channel 1 will get stained glass. Channel 2 is the torches and stuff in there, because if the objects in there are set off to channel 0, I can't just put them on here. Likewise, if I just put them on channel 1, I might not need channel 2 at all. Could put the torches on channel 1. No, because the skeletal mesh has to go. I sorted this shit out earlier. It works. Let me just see if just double check that. Still, we still in business. We still in business. See how I'm getting lit by the sunlight coming through the sky, as well as. But the one thing is I'm not getting lit by the stained glass on the character, because if I was, when I go outside, I would still be lit by it constantly. There's just no way of. I mean, maybe there's a way of blocking it universally or something, but basically you're getting hit by the daylight light here, and everything else in the room is getting hit not by the daylight, but by channels 1 and 2. Channel 1 being stained glass and channel 2 being, well, this is doing 1 and 2. So It works. Okay, it fucking works. Just works. Sorry, okay, I'm done. Sounds. Alright, let me show you my stained glass now. There's also small lights. Those are just particle effects, the standard particle effect. What you have to do on them, though, this is important, I might as well show it, is... So I have a flicker effect on here, too. Oh, that's not even... I'm not even using that. That's the thing. I took those out. This is just a fire torch emitter. But I believe I went into it. So it's channels, and how do you edit here? Yeah. So I went in here and I messed with a lot of stuff in here once just to try and make it brighter and move differently. So this was a long time ago, so I don't even remember what I did with that per se. But an important thing that you do have to do here is on the light, both of these lights, make sure... Radius, yeah, no, brightness overlay now. Is it just the here? No, I'll figure out what I had to do. Use inverse, no. So it was about increasing the scale of this stupid thing, but what was it? Where is it? I had to, okay. Color over life sphere, lifetime. Burst, spawn rate, burst scale. You know what? Look it up. But basically what was happening was when I rotate the camera, it was like getting this hard flicker. And I don't really... Man, I would just find it here and show you. Radius. Oh. I think that's what I did. Distribution. Change it to 1000. Maybe. Radius scale. I remember it being like 3 values I had to change though. Oh, here we go. It's got to be one of these things. Ignore the clipping, by the way. This is a bad recording, but it was a cool track I wanted to record. Man. There you go. No? Wasn't that it? Well. Nope. Afraid I just don't know anymore. Well, somewhere in there was a setting that I had to change to increase, like, a radius. Man. That's lame. Okay, the important thing, what you might be here for. There you go, stained glass light. So, it's just a stained glass default route, directional light. 3 directional lights. First one is red, second one's green, third one's blue. So I just duplicated these. I'll go back to that in a moment. Materials, stained glass. I downloaded a free stained glass asset. Let's see, desaturate it and invert it to get the opacity because it's got like a, this black borders, and it doesn't have an opacity mask in it. So I created an opacity mask by doing that. So black parts are white and the white is opaque. Okay. Speculators. This is stuff that I just copied from the glass. I just basically took the glass material. So this Fresnel stuff, this comes from the built-in glass thing from Unreal Engine. So I just duplicated the glass and added that opacity. And you got this and the emissive color as well. That's what gives it the beams of light, the rays shooting down. But that's it here. I made 3 light functions. You just go like, right-click, make a freaking light function somewhere. I don't remember. Maybe just type blueprint class light, then type light function. I followed a tutorial. It's really easy. Just do it. Okay. And each one of these is just a texture sample. The texture sample, the same one, but each only of its individual channels. So this one is the red one. Then duplicate, and then just take this, and then it's the green one. Emissive color. Okay. Here's the blue one. Okay. Same texture. Emissive color. Okay. That was easy. Okay. That's it for those. So back to the blueprint for the thing. You got stained glass blue light. Also red, blue, and green, right? But at the bottom you also have to assign... I also did bloom tint on each of them because... Yeah. Anyway. So just give it the light function. Just hit click it. Then I changed light function scale here to shrink it down. But I might want to bring that up because up bigger looks kind of cool. Anyway. That's that. Okay, no, this is important stuff here. the lighting channel, channel 1, so that it only affects those objects. And this way it doesn't cast light on the world. It just only casts light on any kind of room that you might have stained glass in. And so you only can get, you know, like, can I add more lighting channels? I don't think so. So I'm limited here. I might put the torches back on channel 1. Maybe it'll work like that. And then I can use channel 2 for a second stained glass effect, or some other lighting channel if I need to use it in the future. But for now, stained glass goes on 1. Any stained glass room. I can put a church anywhere and it'll use that pattern. But you can't change that pattern, I think. You might be able to, I might be able to go, like, level blueprint, cast to that item, and change the dynamic variable on it. But that would, like, affect the whole, yeah, because it's just the one light happening in the whole world. I'm not going to put another one of these in. Anyway, the important variable you want to set here is that I made all of the, so this is movable, just cast translucent shadow, the shadows, all the shadows, light shadow. Okay, nothing else here. Go to the map, though, and I search by static mesh, because luckily, this is all I have so far, but if I was in a full map full of other stuff, I'd have to go here and click every single little thing, or know what I'm doing in advance. Either way. Everything's selected, and maybe, you know, at times I had to do parts of it together because you can't just select all and it work. But anyway, most of the time I did a lot of mass clicking. Make sure light as if static. Okay, first of all, I'm changing from static meshes to movable. This is going to ruin the lighting though, and it took a while to learn that you can click light as if static. So thanks, Unreal. I like that. You can undo and redo a thing to get the benefit out of it and get rid of the flaw. So it's a static movable static mesh. It's a movable static mesh lit as if static. And they're all on channel 1. So what's the channel 2 business for? Oh, I remember why. Yeah, because I do not want the skeletal mesh of my character to be illuminated, any characters to be illuminated by the stained glass. I mean, you just can't, because you can't switch it on and off live, I think, from what I've read. So when he goes out the door, he'd still have static light, the stained glass light on him. So I want to do that. It would be cool to show off. So you can see how the light affects the smoke here. But I can make it so that the smoke is like sort of magical and also gets affected by the sun, because that sounds cool to me. So let's get, ooh, and the dust too. Yeah, the dust too. So clicking, select some of those. Everything looks decent here. Okay. Steam. There's a couple dusts there. Oop, not the fires. Okay. Ambient dust. There's another one. Okay. Okay, this is from emitters, and I want to change these to also channel 0. So they'll get stained glass, fired light, and daylight. So the torches are on channel 2 firelight because I want them to affect the ground and the character. So if I only put them on channel 1, the character would not be casting shadows on the walls. So since I put them on channel 1 and channel 2, it affects the character and the ground. So because of that, so that's all. It's all occupied lighting channels already. Yep. Anyway, I'm gonna take all these. They're on that now. Hopefully I don't have to build. Those are static objects though, maybe. No. I was like, yeah, they're like. See, they're like illuminated by the daylight. Oh, the daylight is being blocked by the outside. I was hoping they would like always be illuminated. But as you can see, the sun kind of passes over them as my original design, depending on what time of day it is. And actually, I moved them around in each room, so they no longer line up perfectly. That was the original idea. It was like, oh my god, the perfect symmetry. Whatever. I can redo that. But they pass over and cast a little bit nice little shadow here. Also, you can see the flicker of the torch light. You can see my guy here. Now, the worst thing, the only problem that I cannot seem to fix is that... Oh, shit. Well, I don't want to walk into walls, too. I got to fix that problem. Okay, that's been on my back burner for a little while. But when I'm close to this shadow, this looks very 8-bit because I'm far away from the source of it. If I'm close to this guy and zoom in on it, it looks much sharper than if when I walk up to it, and that's just bad. That's Unreal's fault. Tim Sweeney, just look at these shadows. Look at what you made me do. That's right. Please now. Okay, I'm not going to update anyway, so I'm stuck on 412 because I'm afraid of the boogeyman coming and undoing all my work. So this is what we get. And I think it's pretty sick. Check out that shadow. That's what you want to see in a starting zone. Am I right? Am I right? Okay, so I think I'm done with lighting and, I mean, basically modeling. I might adjust, like, you know, this, I built this out of my first brushes, like the first thing I made, and I'm like, it looks kind of shitty. Maybe I'll just put a chandelier there or something, or, you know, putting these borders around it really helped. So I might do a little bit more work on the ceiling, and this is still technically kind of just a flat plane down here, the ground. I was criticizing another dude on Reddit for, like, man, I'm not going to play your games, everything's flat. But, hey, just saying, at least I'm self-aware. So I might put some more stuff in here like I did. Ignore, again, the brushes. I did delete these, but this is a bad save game, loading them up again, because that's how life works. And, but, like, for example, let me just save games. Yeah, so I had saved the game before deleting the objects, and so because of my save game system, it was actually reloading them. So you see the blue light is coming from my own character, and it's like clashing with something else when I move. It's causing this flicker. That looks kind of sick. Keep it, because I'm a magical fire thing. I don't know, magical poof of smoke. So that's weird, actually. It's like, when I'm stationary, it looks pretty good. Also, I lowered the range of the lighting channel for this. I forgot about that. Let's check him out. The Free Spirit has point light. Let's put it on. Wouldn't that be cool if it's only on channels 1 and 2? Or should I do 0 as well? Let's try 0 as well. So all three of them is getting affected by. Oh, like this should still be here with with the blue light guy. And now you can see his blue light is casting a blue light on the ground now, which it wasn't before. So this is what you start as before you choose your race. And of course we got all the different races. Oh, and what I've fixed is that it saves your sub-race when you switch off. And resets your hair color so there's no accident. I've basically just been bug proofing. So now he's on the alternate race. All these are alternate race. I'm trying to like say that they're not alternate. It's not A or B. It's just, well, you have to pick one first. You have to, because that's the order of things, but that doesn't make them unequal. So when you pick a race, then you go to the other guys, your default becomes that race. So if you're like, yeah, I want to see the other costume for all the guys and girls, there you go. This is what the alternates look like on all of them. And it resets the hair and the shirt to black so that it's nice and, you know, what would happen before is if you load the game in after changing and, you know, you would think that your hair is a certain way, but in reality it was another. The ogre. My ogre. I think it's looking pretty good. Let's see. This is the other race. This is the gray drow. I should show some of these in, like, daylight, because that changes a lot. Oh, shit. Look at that. Okay. Okay. Blueprints, interactables, door, static mesh, lighting channels. I want 0. I don't want 0. Maybe I only want 2. That way the door will be lit by the fire. But that looks good. There we go. Yeah, lit by the fire. No crazy. Ah, shit. So that's what I've been trying to fix too. Some weird shit like that. So I'll figure out how to stop that. That's not right. But I can just make those not lit by fire. Oh, lighting channels just help make everything nice and wonderful. So if I just go into here, I go to all these bad boys. I know there's one more hidden under here, right? No, okay. That, and that. And we're gonna go, okay, movable, light as if static, and we're gonna say, wait, why is it, should be like that, and not those. I probably have to rebuild it. Oh, I've done a lot of stuff. Man, that sucks. That's going to take forever and a half. Well, is there anything else I didn't show off that I could show the workings of while it builds? Like stuff. So this guy, ambient sound, and I just check use complex collision for occlusion. Enable occlusion and then trace channels visibility. So this means if any objects block it, you'll hear it. This setting, occlusion volume attenuation, and time in seconds to interpolate. So this is how fast it interpolates. So there's a little bit of a delay when you close the door. It's kind of cool because it's wind. It's like almost like a little bit of wind comes in. And the volume and the low pass filter, which means how much it cuts off the bass. So you just put in some stuff there, and that's how it's badass. Okay. What else? This is happening because the light is at a 90-degree angle by default. So the directional light, I just threw it up here technically. That's the directional light actor, stained glass light with 3 directional lights. But it could go anywhere in the level, just like my other directional light. The skylight is over here. This is where its default is. I don't know. I've just been throwing. This guess is at 0, 0. No, it's at some weird random location. Whatever. I just moved it over there. Here's what the outside of these things look like. It's kind of epic. I think lighting's being built again, so just ignore that. But I like the shape of that. It looks kind of realistic. Like you're stepping out and it's like, what the fuck? And this is a surreal feeling, even in the editor. This is like going to the IMAX when you're a kid, and the thing, it's like in a helicopter, and you're flying over like the city and stuff, and your feet feel like you're falling. That's what I get when I jump out of this. And so, I don't want to spoil anything, but the idea is there's nowhere else to go. I think the next thing I'm going to do, though, is put a little island in the air around this that you can sort of practice the... Not practice, but feel out the various run speed combat modes. Combat mode run speeds, because everybody runs at the same speed when out of combat. Feel out the various combat speed run modes and swimming and jumping variations to the races, because that's what the races are. So we have a little island around here, a little floating island. Maybe then there's like a little river on it and a waterfall or some shit. That'll be sick. And then you can like ride the waterfall down if you want. But no matter what, you die. And then you respawn. And it's like, it was just a dream. You respawn in your chosen homeland. And I'm going to put in settings, various settings. So I can say here, if anyone's watching here, I'm going to plan on putting 3 options so far for background. Then... like that's like Origin, like Dungeons and Dragons, so you can be from the wild, which is like a survivor gameplay mode, survivor as in survival gameplay, and or you can be from a village, which is more like a crafter slash, you know, that kind of, you know, like casual kind of gameplay, or you can be from the city, which is like kind of like, you know, maybe sort of fend for yourself, but there's a lot of people, and each of those you start with different equipment and whatnot. So I'm just having fun moving around chaotically here. So, and then I have various options for social roles, classes, as in, like, social classes, so, like, you know, a lord or a peasant type classes, and, like, knights and, you know, guildsmen, all those things are, and, like, real guilds, as in crafter guilds, and I got a whole thing planned out, so I'm actually getting excited to start implementing that. Now that this is feeling solid, nice and good, I'm going to expand past it, and basically just, I don't know, I might put another door here. So one door is like to drop off into nothing, and you're like, okay. And then put the other door here, and just be like, this door leads out to the island. You can like funk around out here. Or maybe it's just, yeah, because I do love the opening the door and it's like fall to nothing. So on the sides, I'll put a little area you can run around outside here to connect one side to the other. And this is like the little faction side. So this side will be all the tribe, male and female. And then this side will be all the court, male and female, or whichever side is which, but you see how they're connected like that, and then in the middle, yeah, okay. Alright, I think that's it. This is building 0%. I'm gonna call this, and thanks for watching. Peace.